Hello, and welcome back to this video series on A Course in Miracles, A Course in Miracles 365, Awakening to Love. All right. Yes, I'm Reverend Tomas. And well, it's always nice to take a few days off, which is what I've done. And my last recording here was lesson 335. So naturally, we'll take it right back up at lesson 336. We're talking about forgiveness here. And it's been really, really wonderful. I've taken some time off to travel. I live in Arizona in the United States and went to Oregon, where I visited with both of my kids and just spent a nice, peaceful 4 or 5 days. And it reminds me, it serves as a really, really wonderful reminder to me that forgiveness applies to all situations, and we don't have to simply go on vacation in order to experience peace. Now, it's a place in the world where it's an idea, really. I mean, isn't it? A vacation is an idea. Yeah. And it's an idea of recharging. It's an idea of relaxing. It's an idea of restoration, maybe, and just dropping old habits, seeing things differently. And in fact, it's a very restorative idea. And we don't have to go on vacation all of the time to experience the same sense of peace. We don't have to travel all the time, unless you want to, of course, but you don't have to always be gone from your home, from your desk job, if you have one, from the housework. You don't have to actually ever go anywhere in order to experience peace, the peace of God. Now, why is that? Because it's who you are. It's who you've always been. And there is no place, ultimately, is there? There's no Phoenix, Arizona. There's no Corvallis, Oregon, right? There's no United States vis-a-vis other countries. Doesn't happen that way. Ultimately, there's no place to go. And forgiveness shows us this, doesn't it? It is our function, especially as described in A Course in Miracles. So it's no surprise then that here, as we've gone through the workbook for students, we've come back to the theme again and again. We do so again today. We're in the midst of a series of 10 lessons that really talk all about forgiveness. So we've arrived at lesson 336 here today in the workbook, and that is, forgiveness lets me know that minds are joined. Forgiveness lets me know that minds are joined. Minds are joined. There is only oneness. So yes, this does mean that you are your brother and sister. You are a person that you may hold out as your worst enemy. Same. Oneness. Minds are joined. Now, the physical body doesn't appear to be joined. And we seek joining. And the modern obsession with sex, with sexuality, not the full panoply of human sexual behaviors, just intercourse, right? Really, that's what the media sells, and it sells hot bods, and buff dudes, and women in bikinis on the beach, that sort of thing. Everybody sprayed, everybody airbrushed and photoshopped to look smoking hot. Yeah, all that. So what is this actually? It's an attempt to join using the physical body. Yet we know, and here in spirituality, we come to experience that joining is of the mind. That's what is joined. That's what is joined. And when people seek a sexual relationship in the world, there's a part of each of us that wants that union, that wants to experience that joining. And it can be momentarily blissful for us. But to the extent that we identify with the body that partakes in these acts, in these behaviors, even if they're hot as fuck, right? As long as we identify with the body that performs, then we're not getting the full experience, as beautiful as it may be. Right, as beautiful as having hot sex or even falling in love and having prolonged hot sex, hot, sexy makeout session, all of that. Yeah, all of that is an attempt here in the world to join. Joining is of the mind, and forgiveness lets us know that. Why? It shows us that there's nobody out there. What we're seeing, apparently, outside of us is but a reflection of what's inside. It is an image from and in and seen with our own mind. And then, yes, we all appear to be having our 8 billion plus individual experiences, right? And on the level of the world, that's what's going on. We're not talking about the level of the world here. We're talking about what truly is. And of course, that lies beyond words. So what do we need? We need a practice such as forgiveness. We need forgiveness to help us clear the way, to help us remove the barriers that we have thrown up, that we've erected and built, the walls that we built up brick by brick, or in the case of Arizona, iron bar, 30-foot iron bar by 30-foot iron bar. All of these things that we have constructed block the experience of love. As the Course puts it, the awareness of love's presence. It's who we are. Forgiveness shows us who we are. It shows us that minds are joined. It deals with the level of perception here in the world where there's a me, a you, subject, object, self, other, duality. It purifies our perception. It cleanses it, so to speak. It makes us see things as they truly are. Each forgiving act after another shows us that minds are joined. And we need this here in the world of perception. We need to appear in our own mind in order to disidentify with the ego. We use its tools. We use its tools of forgiving what appears to be someone else. I forgive you. I'm really forgiving myself. You forgive me. You're really forgiving yourself. We use that tool where we appear to be extending love, forgiveness to someone else. When in reality, we're forgiving our own mind. We are cleansing our own perception. And when that's done, then, as the Course puts it, God takes the final step himself. We then wake up. And there is no more perception because there's no other. There's no separate self to perceive something else. It's where each of us is headed. And for countless eons, we have vainly sought this outside ourselves in the sexual relationships that I was just talking about, which apparently needed to be part of this discussion. The point on all of that is that we're constantly seeking the peace of God where it is not, i.e., outside of us. That is the message of spiritual practice. That's the message of A Course in Miracles. And that is why we're entreated. Jesus entreats us and invites us in dozens and dozens and dozens of different ways to forgive, to always forgive. And the more that we're able in the world to develop a habit of forgiveness, the more we realize this, and in time, the more quickly we realize it. So I wish that for you today, right now. So let's all cleanse our perception. Let's perceive truly to the point where we're absorbed into God, where we've never left, and we no longer perceive anything because we are everything. Thank you, as always, for joining me.